Alright, cool. It's recording again. Um, I just told myself a minute or two ago that if there wasn't anything else left to watch on TV, I was going to make another video. I had some stuff on a DVR that I could have watched, but I kind of like to switch it up. I've spent days where, I wake up, watch TV, go to sleep, or wake up, get on the computer, go to sleep, and it's just more or less a wasted day. Uh, if you do it on a consistent basis, at least. So, yeah, the reason why I wanted to make a video is for two reasons. Reason number one is anytime I have something to do that's important. Over the weekend, I took a trip out to Pennsylvania. My niece was getting her first communion, so I went out. Despite yeah, that was pretty much the first thing I wanted to address, that I guess sleep hygiene, because I had to catch a 6:15 bus from Port Authority to Allentown, Pennsylvania, and there was no way I was gonna wake up in time to like shower, get dressed, and get out the door to make a 6:15 bus, especially with the added confusion of getting a will call ticket and not knowing exactly how that was going to work out. Um, anyway, so now I kind of find myself in a similar boat to, I could have went to sleep at maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I just decided not to. I just figured I'm the type of person who has a lot of energy, especially, like 2 o'clock in the morning going on 3 o'clock. And I'm probably not going to enjoy this show, which is like, I just found out, much like Boyhood, which I finished watching tonight, is about 2.5 hours long, and intermission anywhere between 15 minutes, half an hour. But yeah, it's kind of counterproductive to stay up all night to catch a 12 p.m. show when you haven't slept all night, and this isn't one of those Disney performances where the show is not going to go longer than 2 hours. But yeah, last thing I wanted to happen tomorrow was to like, my grandmother's birthday was actually yesterday, and the last thing I wanted to happen was my mom screaming at me, "Oh, it's like 11 o'clock. We got to make this performance," and I'm like dead asleep, haven't showered, haven't gotten ready, haven't bought tickets, and yeah. I really didn't think this show thing was going to happen, because we're going to York College to see it as opposed to Broadway, which I never actually seen Broadway production at this place. I could walk there if I wanted to. I could take the bus there. I could take the van there. But my grandmother, I'm not even going to have her walk, more than like, from her house to the bus stop. It's just like, yeah, I just figured if this is going to happen, I would need to have a car to make this work, or in this case my mom's car. And after my dad, he was supposed to do it, and unfortunately his schedule, his work schedule, the things he does outside of work, it wasn't going to happen. I don't want to put my uncle's business out there, or why he didn't want to do it. All I can say about that is we truly share the same genes, as far as like, maybe getting, okay, not wanting to do, not wanting to be in the perimeter of any place for a particular reason. I'll just leave it at that, and I completely understood. Not to say that it'll change, but in any case, finally, my mom, she's the first person I approached, and she said that she already saw Aida twice on Broadway, and I was like, well, yeah, she's probably not going to watch it like 3 times in a row. And so after my dad didn't work out, after my uncle didn't work out, after telling her that the tickets for senior citizens are $10 each, she says, well, for $10 I'll see it again. So that really I never seen this play before. I know I went on YouTube to listen to the soundtrack. I didn't really get past the first song, but from what I did hear, I was impressed with. Elton John, Tim Rice. It's hard to really go wrong. I'll be honest, I wasn't really too, not to say that I didn't like The Lion King, but the cartoon was my favorite, Disney cartoon, or, even out of the 3D animations from Toy Story, to, I don't know, I really did enjoy Ratatouille, and I saw that a couple of years ago in Miami, and there were a handful of jokes that, I was able to enjoy as an adult that probably wouldn't went over my head had I saw at the same time as I saw The Lion King back in the 90s. So yeah, I bring topic one up only because this whole thing about sleep hygiene, like for example this weekend in Allentown, I actually enjoyed the church service. It's one of those formalities that is kind of the cause for the reason that people will be at the house with food and music. And I actually I grew up Roman Catholic. I remember getting First Communion a year late because I didn't really I was a Boy Scout, and I was going to church to fulfill some requirements, and that's how I started going to Sunday school. But I did everything else: reconciliation, confirmation. So yeah, the church service is cool, but once we got back to the house, contrary to like other parties, there were like a lot of people coming and going throughout, which was, I mean, even if the place was like packed from like beginning to end, like I would have still felt like shit because of the fact that I didn't sleep for 24 hours straight almost. I was telling that to a friend, and he was like, "Oh, you should just go up and get some sleep." But who wants to go to sleep at a party? That's how I felt about it. And it's funny how sometimes you may really feel like shit, where like the only thing you want to see is a pillow and a bed and sheets, and then like maybe an hour or two later you just sort of eventually, when I'm feeling that way, it's only a matter of time until like if you would have asked me at like 4 o'clock if I was gonna drive back from Allentown back home. I say drive my mom's car. I brought up the fact of my grandmother and getting her to see the performance. Yeah, I would have said, like, I even told my mom I'd rather take the first leg of the trip, because if I get tired, well, if she would have started driving and would have asked me to, take over the wheel, I would have been like, I'm just starting to get sleep. I'm like dead asleep. The last thing I want to do is get behind the wheel, and but I was, I was able to make the whole trip, including the stop in Corona. Usually, almost 9 times out of 10, Marilyn, she's with us in the car. So rather than just go straight home, we ended up taking a BQE. She doesn't live too far from LaGuardia Airport, so I was even up to like something. Not to say I feel like this all the time, but as a lazy person, it's not even about like taking a detour driving. It's just like there's been times where I've been in the back and I've been asleep, and it was my obligation to help my aunt up the stairs with bags and stuff. And every time we get there, she always like put some money in my pocket. And it's I mean, I'll be honest, there was times where it's just like, okay, I mean, even if I knew there wasn't going to be any sort of compensation or tip in it for me, I would have rather just stayed asleep or just like gotten straight home. But yeah, I made that drive to her place. I was able to get her bags. I was able to she gave me $10, which is more than she usually gives me. So I was like, great, that'll pay for my grandmother's ticket this afternoon. So yeah, rather than continue on that rant, I'd rather spend the next 5 minutes. I thought YouTube minutes were only supposed to be 10 minutes, but I've come to learn that they could be at least 15. It's not as complicated as like my sleep cycle or sleep hygiene. It kind of has to do with the video I saw last night. One of the subscribers, YouTube subscriptions I have is A Dose of Buckley. The guy's name is Adam Buckley, and he was responding to these comment that Jerry Seinfeld made. I was actually going to, like, maybe get the quote he actually said, and you know familiarize myself more with actually the context he put it in. But from what I can remember, he has this web series on Crackle, something to do with coffee, and there's somebody else from, I don't know what other show he's on, but maybe he was promoting the show, but somebody asked him about YouTube, and Jerry Seinfeld's response was, YouTube is basically a garbage dump where, like, anybody can post videos. And I was sort of, like, like, on the fence with, like, Buckley's, like, during the video he cuts to, I mean, I thought it was him at first, but he says this guy named Jason. He cuts to this, like, 5-minute video of somebody commenting on Jerry Seinfeld, and it was about, like, if anything will make you go to sleep, it would be that video. But I guess he wanted to drive home exactly, both sides of the spectrum. And there's more I could say about some of the things he got into the video itself, but I guess the way it hit home is because of the fact that if you were to see maybe 90% of these videos that I've made, and by videos I don't mean the stuff that I shot at Fantasy Fest, the videos I started shooting at, like, the Arnold Sports Festival, Arnold Classic, or I don't think I got anything from the Joe Weider's Olympia weekend in Las Vegas, or anything having to do with TNA. Not those videos. I know I got some stuff I got more pictures and videos from, like, events I go out to at parades. But I'm just talking about things, just me in front of the camera like I am right now. And I mean, I gotta be honest, I don't really expect anybody to sort of, like, view these videos. I know somebody made a comment on one of them saying I had a nice shirt. The shirt just had the New York City subway system on it. I don't I mean, there's people who Buckley states this, there's people who make videos so they could be the next Jenna Marbles, they could be the next PewDiePie, or, like, anybody that's, like, really banking in on not even if they're, like, making money, just so make a name for themselves on the internet, or for whatever reason. Buckley is going to, like, maybe how, like, for example, epic rap battles of history, that can easily be something that could be produced on television, and I mean, regardless of their model being, like, on YouTube, they can make more money. I'm not sure. I don't know how that works, but or let's just say area expertise. But I'm in a category on the other side of the spectrum where I'm pretty sure people have compilated like the worst YouTube videos, or the worst YouTube series, or like what Jerry Seinfeld said, like, what would be what would be categorized as, like, basically not the asshole of the internet, because that's 4chan, but what could be constituted as, like, his whole argument was, entertainment is something that should be left to the professionals. I guess he was saying there shouldn't be something out there that, for semi-professionals to really maybe like mimic what he was doing on Seinfeld, where he was making $1 million per episode. But like I said in another video, I'm doing this because for the most part, people grow up with, like, photo albums and pictures, and technology has progressed to even in boyhood there was a lot of changes you could see from where technology was maybe back after 9/11 happened until now. So this is a way to, again, I said this in another video, maybe in a year from now, maybe, if I were to show this to my kids someday, unless I delete this, I mean, hopefully it'll survive. I mean, I'm not talking zombie apocalypse. I only said zombie apocalypse because I didn't want to say anything about, like, another world war, basically putting people in the FEMA camps. I know my personal take on that issue is like I plan to leave the country long before that happens. So I don't know if I'm gonna make another video tonight. I know there was a few things I didn't really touch upon, but I did. You kind of get a sense of where I was going. One, the fact that what time did I wake up? I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, and pretty much at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, I'm gonna feel like shit. I mean, not to mention the worst time to go to the movies, or I never went to a Broadway production wanting to go to sleep, but yeah, it's not ideal. And then the second thing I talked about is what I'm doing right now. There are, to be quite honest, there are some videos that I've made that I have monetized. There's no reason. I'm not gonna say I didn't in the past go into my YouTube videos and try to click on monetize on every single one or place ads, or that if I did do that I was going to remove it. But all I can say is this particular video right here, there's no reason for me to I don't expect it to go anywhere. The videos where I was like playing guitar, to be quite honest, there was a reason why I did it, and all I could say is maybe I would have been better off not doing it, but that's a topic for a whole nother video, and I'm not trying to like comment on something that may or may not be true, but yeah, I don't even know if those videos are if I'm gonna do another one tonight. Being that I got a couple of being that I got some time ahead of me, maybe I will. Maybe this is the beginning of a time where I tell myself, okay, this normally happens on Twitter, where I find myself saying to myself, okay, it's time for you to close this fucking computer and get some sleep, because if I continue to spam bullshit on Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, it's just not going to make you look good. There's things that I do on Twitter and Facebook and obviously YouTube now that doesn't make me look good. Not to say this particular video, but if you want a good idea, just take a look at my not YouTube, but Twitter feed. You're bound to find something there that you may agree upon, or may side with me on going on Twitter when basically I need to go to sleep. And I'll be honest, most of those times it's not due to sleep deprivation. I just tweet certain things, and then afterwards I just say, yeah, maybe that wasn't the best idea. I don't know if making this video was the best idea, but there was 2 reasons why I wanted to do it. And with that said, if I have another reason, be it including my guitar, or just I hate the word epiphany as much as another word I tweeted tonight, but maybe I'll create something else tonight. Maybe it'll be another night until I do this. But with that said, I'm just going to sign out and, I don't know, try to make the most of the time between now and when my mom's asking me if I'm ready to leave out the door. So, with that said, I'm going to hit the stop record button, and until next time, peace out.